Hello everyone and welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel. As with you always, this is Rich doing another video today on XRP. So I hope you're all having a wonderful day today wherever you are in this great world. We're gonna talk about XRP. And once again, this is the 1-day chart. We had some more movement to the upside. And people were saying, look, we're moving without Bitcoin. For a while there, we actually were. We made more gains than Bitcoin on the 1-day chart. And if you look at the 7-day chart, it looks even better. But you know, right now, we're just waiting for that catalyst that sends XRP still. You know, we moved up 2, 3, 4 cents. I'm waiting until we move like 10 cents, 15 cents. That's when I'm really going to start to get excited about the price of XRP. The trial between Ripple and the SEC will commence tomorrow. The price of XRP is currently showing an upward trend. So a lot of people were thinking it had to do with the Ripple SEC case, which is going to commence today actually. We'll see where we go from here. I'm just hoping this case doesn't end up going to the Supreme Court. That's the best we can hope for. We need to get settlement already. SEC lawyers resign after judge blasts agency for abuse of power in crypto fraud trial. Now this is the trial with Debtbox. So 2 U.S. SEC lawyers recently resigned after a Utah judge reprimanded the agency for a gross abuse of power. The SEC was planning to fire the 2 lawyers if they didn't step down, the report also said. A federal district court judge in Utah has criticized the SEC attorneys, saying their case was marred by false statements and misrepresentations. Remember, there was people stuck in other countries because of this case, because they had their assets seized. And you know, they were going to fire these 2 lawyers anyway. They need to look deeper. Look at what was going on between Gary and Sam Bankman-Fried. United States Congress to begin investigation into the SEC chairman, Gary Gensler, over possible purchase of 1.2 million XRP during the Ripple lawsuit. Now, I don't know if this is true. I've seen some people speculate on this, saying that it was false, that it wasn't real. Other people are saying it's absolutely true. So Bree Madigan, CEO of Global Business Leader, took to Twitter to announce investigations into SEC Chairman Gary Gensler's purchase of 1.2 million XRP. This tweet raised eyebrows across the financial and cryptocurrency sectors, hinting at potential legal ramifications for Gensler's actions. Hopefully this is true, but again, I'm not quite ready to say this is true or not. But it would make sense. I'm sure Gary held XRP in the past. Look at how we talked about XRP at MIT. And this is a blast from the past. Ripple wants the SEC to disclose how much XRP its employees hold. The court has reportedly given the SEC until September 3rd to respond. That was back in 2021. Back then, Ripple wanted to know how many SEC attorneys and employees were holding their asset. And I'm sure a lot of people did back then. You know, this was the time period where the SEC case just began. And people thought this was going to be over within a couple months. It was a great time back then because people were full of excitement, thinking this is it, this is that moment. But here we are, 3 years later, and we're still tied up in this. It's absolutely ridiculous. You know, the court system in the United States moves at a snail's pace. Everything in this country moves so slow. You know, you get an announcement, and then all of a sudden, months go by, and no news, no investigation. It's just like we see all these people in Congress talking about sending letters to Gary, asking for his resignation and shit like that. But you know what ends up happening? Nothing. They reprimand the guy and everything still moves forward. It's time to start taking action. Finally, a serious and fair attempt to address the real problem of wealth inequality in our great nation. This is fake news. The letter is not real. David Schwartz put this out earlier today, and I've seen this letter everywhere. So the bill proposes the imposition of 1% wealth tax on cryptocurrency, holdings exceeding $500,000 for individuals, trusts, and entities. This wealth tax is intended to address the growing wealth inequality in our country by ensuring that those who hold significant wealth in the form of cryptocurrencies contribute their fair share to support vital public services and investments. I firmly believe that this legislation strikes the right balance between fostering innovation in the cryptocurrency space and ensuring that our tax system remains fair and equitable for all Americans. It sounds honestly legit, and they signed Elizabeth Warren's name to the bottom. But David Schwartz says it's fake news. But that's something she would definitely write up. You know, you ever take notice? The richest politicians in Washington, they always talk about you paying your fair share. What's wrong with you? You should want to pay your taxes. Meanwhile, these people are getting rich from every possible direction. The banks, big businesses paying off the government. How do you think this happens? I mean, come on, people are in denial. Well, if you think these politicians are working for the American people, you are in denial. These people are working for the big banks and big business and big corporations. And it shows because they get paid $200,000 a year, but they're leaving the White House with multi-millions of dollars. And, you know, until that gets fixed, nothing in this country is going to get fixed. New York Stock Exchange contemplates following cryptocurrency markets with 24/7 trading. Just imagine if the stock market never had the bell anymore, the closing bell, the opening bell, and it was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I think a lot more money would flow into the stock market, honestly. You know, a lot of people, they don't like the weekends. They feel like anything could happen, and it usually does lately over the course of the weekend. Then everybody worries about what's going to happen Monday morning. But if it was like crypto and it was open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, I think more people would get in the stock. Stock market just isn't for me. And I think the stock exchange is most likely thinking they're losing a lot of money to crypto as well. But the reason I don't like the stock market is because I think it's rigged. You know, if you don't have a lot of money, you're not going to make money in the stock exchange. The global financial system is experiencing a unanimous increase in demand for stablecoins centered around utility, liquidity, and trust. This comes from Ripple. So the core benefits of Ripple's stablecoin include enterprise grade. Ripple specializes in blockchain-based enterprise-grade solutions that financial institutions and enterprises need. Ripple will leverage both XRP and the stablecoin in its payment solution to improve customer experience and serve as the first enterprise use case of the asset at scale. Compliance first mindset. You know, I think Ripple went about this the right way. They want to make sure they're fully compliant because Ripple, they were transparent early on, and look what happened. They still ended up getting sued by the SEC. Going forward, Ripple's not only going to be transparent, but everything they do is going to remain compliant. Liquidity on the decentralized exchange. While XRP is the native currency on the XRP ledger, the ledger was built to support any type of asset issued to trade on the DEX and quickly settle anywhere in the world with low transaction cost. Bringing more credible assets on the DEX, such as Ripple stablecoin, will drive numerous benefits for users, developers, and apps. Transparent stablecoin reserve. Now we know it's going to be backed 1-to-1 to the US dollar. Multi-chain compatibility. The Ripple stablecoin will be issued on the XRP Ledger and Ethereum blockchain using XRP Ledger native functionality and ERC20 token standards. Developers on both XRP Ledger and ETH will be able to incorporate the Ripple stablecoin so that users can transact with stability, confidence, and trust. Now, a lot of people were asking me, do you think Ripple's stablecoin is going to become a CBDC? I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Somebody also made a very good point. They said if the US is going to have a CBDC, maybe they'll have two types of CBDC. One will use USDC, which most of us think is the digital dollar, and the other option will use Ripple stablecoin. I'm not sure how that's all going to work. I don't think it's going to be a CBDC. However, I think it's going to be tied to ESDRs, but I'll talk about that in a video for later today. MiCA will transform the EU into a crypto adoption hub this year. Now, MiCA is going to be what we're going to see everywhere in the world. But look at what they say about custodial needs. With the passage of MiCA, every bank and every registered asset manager in the EU can easily apply for a crypto custody license. It's likely, though, that many of these financial institutions, like banks, won't want to take on this added responsibility, including having to obtain the appropriate technology and gain and maintain the necessary technical expertise, and will therefore want a sub-custodian to manage their digital assets. It's logical for them to use sub-custodians to more clearly separate functions and funds. And this is where Medico can come in. And I think Ripple going towards custody was very important at that specific time, because custody is going to become a problem going forward. But Ripple already has a solution to that problem as well. Senator Warren would be a key loss and important for the crypto industry. Could the battlegrounds in the Senate elections are bigger and more important than the presidential election? Take a listen.
So much attention is always on the presidential election, but really, I think the battlegrounds in the Senate elections might be even more important.
Yeah, these Senate elections are extremely important. John Deaton is a very strong contender against Elizabeth Warren. There's a lot of opinions. Can anyone beat Elizabeth Warren given the stronghold she has in the Democratic Party? But I think the most important thing for our community is that we participate politically. We participate in political activities and we vote. That includes the people of Massachusetts. That includes the people of Ohio. So whether that's the U.S. Senate, U.S. House, or even state races, it's important that all people understand who they're voting for. You get the people you're voting for, the people in office, get them on record. What is their position on their Americans' access to open source technologies? And if it's anything less, then we should have full access to these technologies.
Full stop.
And that's the way I look at it. We need politicians that are going to allow innovation to push ahead in the United States. I definitely think Johnny Deaton might be Elizabeth Warren, because more and more people are waking up to what crypto is. They're waking up to what digital assets are. They're waking up to how this type of technology can push the country forward. But for some reason, they want to keep us in this traditional banking system where they're only making money. A digital financial system, a new financial system levels the playing field for all of us. So we all got an equal shot at making money. RFK Jr. wants to put the entire U.S. budget on the blockchain. Every American can look at every budget item in the entire budget anytime they want, 24 hours a day. He said he envisions 300 million eyeballs scrutinizing the budget, which would allow for better transparency on the utilization of the budget. I think that would be great. People would pick this apart all day long. And I think that's the path forward. full transparency. I also think voting should be tied to the blockchain as well. Keep it fully transparent. No more games going forward. Now, this was one of the funniest tweets I've seen all day. Only 4.5% of the world's population invest in cryptocurrencies. This is great because someone from the 95.5% needs to clean my boat soon. And you could say that about pretty much they're going to need to clean my Lambo soon as well. But you know, that's where we are right now. Only 4.5% of the world's population are invested in crypto. And you know, once you get into crypto, there's no turning back. You know, you get involved with crypto and all of a sudden your eyes become open to everything that's going on around you. And you could see now, it's clearly right there in front of you, how Ripple is going after all the money. More and more, we're starting to see partners of Ripple partnering with other companies, expanding out and growing. This thing is getting massive is what I'm saying. And somebody asked me about yesterday's video because I said, I don't think they're going to flip the switch until we have a complete level playing field where everybody is able to be banked all around the world. And, you know, I see progress on that. Stellar's out there doing it. Ripple's out there doing it. Hedera's out there doing it. We are almost there. I don't think we have too long to go yet. I think everybody's going to have access to a bank account within the next year is what I'm saying. I think we're that close at this point. But you see the progress being made on that as well. And I think once everything is connected, all the rails are put in place, that's when the train will start to run. That's when I think we will start to really see the prices jump on a lot of these cryptocurrencies. And I think some of that will have to do with ISO as well going forward. But you know, until it all happens, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to wrap up this video. I want to thank you all for watching. I appreciate all of you. I'll see you in the next one. Have a great night.